maintenance first on this. This is very, 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 very ad hoc. I mean, and here's my face. Yay! My face. So I'm just going to do some maintenance on the equipment. The main issue is this thing here leaks. That hangs down. This is blunt. I have given it an absolute, I think the British refer to it as rogering. I don't know what Roger has to do with it, but apparently it's an important part of the process. So, there we go. This is what I probably should refer to as the unrogering tool. Look at that. Let's have a look at him. So, other than being a bit rusty, he's pretty good. But, unfortunately, he's a bit blunt as well. So I'm going to use ye rusty screwdriver and take the blade off. May as well show you how it's all done. It's not a hugely involving process, other than sometimes if the blade has rusted so much it's very hard to get it off. So just giving it a bit of a, there we go. So ta-da! That was very exciting, wasn't it? Action shot. Should I do this in slow motion? Now what I'm interested in all seriousness, is the bushing on the blade, because I am reasonably certain that I've absolutely stuffed it. I could hear it rattling and rolling all night long. Yeah, the washer is absolutely stuffed. Here, have a look. Whoop. There it goes. So I shall repair this thing. I think the washer is good for one more burl, so that's okay. Having a look and seeing what blades I have available. I want to get a really big blade out. I don't think I've got one. I have to use one of the smaller varieties. But I've got a huge one, courtesy of one Riley gun. New blade. I noted that I found a few more axles for the burrs, so that's good. I am not lacking in these things. Hello, 4 people who just suddenly came on. I am currently changing my rotary tool. This is the rotary tool. Just whilst I'm doing that, let me show you. These are opals. And these opals I have only just gotten, so I thought I might take this opportunity to quickly upgrade a few parts of my machine. This is entirely unexpected for me. I'd upgrade some parts of my machine, and then I would also cut some of these opals just to wear the new blade in, basically. So that should be a little bit of fun for all the family. Let me see. That's presuming I haven't, dropped the shaft and I have no idea where it is, which it totally hasn't happened. I'm just looking for, I don't know, random things. It's alright, what I can do is I can just get this new set of blades out. That's weird. I'm not trying to say I'm a loser, but like, my capacity to misplace objects is amazing. Like, I only literally had it. If you replayed it, you'd find out where I put it. Found it. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you find stuff? Soy. Hello, Gary. Yeah, did you have any parents that would say, oh, you forget your own head if it weren't screwed on? Right, so that's that done. Let me get the tightener. Have I lost that? No. So the new is on. Now these things, you're not supposed to cut new opal with them, or opals you care about, when you put a new blade on. I say nuts to that rule. Here we go. Now the other thing, pop this in. It's a relatively simple procedure. There's a button underneath the Dremel tool. Then you press that down, and that holds the axle or shaft. I don't like calling it a shaft. I'll let you understand the reasons why. It holds that steady, and then you're able to then tighten it. And you've got just a small little spanner. You are looking at an opal cutting rig. Hello, Quantum. Is it Quantum? Yeah, it is. Yep, these are what you're looking at. Well, you're looking at a blurry opal at the moment, aren't you? Looking at a less blurry opal. Trying to show you up, less blurry, more blurry. Man, this zoom function is really killing me. I'm just going to zoom right in, and now the phone dropped down. Isn't that cool? Hilarious! Right, there we go. So, just for those people who are trying to take photo opals, if you do the zooms right in, you can actually get the colour. There you are. Yeah. So I've got that one. Let's just do all of them whilst we're here. This is fresh off the press, so to speak. I got a new collection of opal, and yes, this was $30 worth of second-hand rubbish, allegedly. That's a colour bar that's probably going straight through that area there. So, and I've got a kilo of this, by the way. Not all of it's like this, of course, but you can see that this is certainly not worth just chucking in the bin. Have I done all of them? I think I have. It's going to be a short one today. Just going to quickly cut those ones. And I might do stuff like this little guy. But this one's going to be really hard, because it's got all sorts of problems. As a matter of fact, probably won't quite crack open, but it's not that far from doing it. So grab that one too. What else will I do? Yeah, I'll cut this one, because this one is a real... It's a B Yatch. That one looks lovely, but hang on, I'll just give it a quick wash. Here we go. Look at that thing. I mean, it's beautiful, but how the heck am I going to cut it? We'll find out soon enough. But it's certainly not going to be the first blade, because it'll just take it apart. So, popping that there and zooming out again. Zooming out again. There we go. Now let me see if I can get a bit of an angle onto this. There we go. Yeah, I can get an angle on there. It will take a little bit of maneuvering, because the setup is a little bit... How's your father at the moment? There we go. Alright, nearly got it. Now that I've done that, I'm going to have it up there. I need to have a long one. I can use this piece. So I'm just affixing it with a piece of tissue, which used to be attached via a screw, and now it's not, which is annoying. There we go. I'll screw it all back in eventually. And that means that if you're thinking I have a screw loose, absolutely. Honestly. Right, now I've got that done. Time to unhook all of this garbage. Now this has served me so well over the time. It is a beautiful piece of equipment, but all things must end. And if it doesn't, I'm going to snap it off. How are we going here? There we go. Out you get. Out you get. Say goodbye to the thing. Goodbye, thing. Ugh. I'm going to have to silicone spray it in eventually, but I've got some super glue as a stopgap. So this is what it looks like when it's out of the thing. That goes into the water, and then it's just gravity fed. It's just an ordinary drip. This is what they look like new. Now the reason why I'm replacing it is that the for ever such a long time, this mechanism here, the clamp has been broken and been dripping incessantly, and I've been struggling with it every time. Normally I have the control right up at the top, but I didn't have enough cable or whatever else, so I've had to struggle along. So today I've got all of the new stuff, yay, courtesy of my niece, who we'll say she procured it, shall we? Okay, so let's get this into the... Let's have a look what we got. We don't need this part. So we can cut that off. I'm wondering, yeah, we can. Okay, so yeah, you can see the action as it occurs, if you can call it that. Quick repair of the system. There we go. So I'll pop that there. Don't need that. I'll chuck it out eventually. Now, this thing is a extra special clampy thing, and because I've got lots of cable now, I can just run this right down over to basically here where it attaches to the thing. As you can see, I'm very good with my terminologies. It's also got a secondary clamp here, so this is going to really help with control of the water flow, and that's important if you're doing the OPAL things. So in it goes to the water. I've accidentally run the indicator bottle dry. That's okay, I can work without it. It's just a bit more annoying. So what I'm going to do now is I'm running this into... Yep, here we go. Okay, so this is now run into the... I'll show it to you. I've got 3 of them for my setup, so I've now run it into there. So that means that all of my water is controlled from the one central point, which feeds out of that bottle, which feeds out of that bottle, which feeds out of that bottle. That gets fed from a hose. And this is the indicator bottle, and it's run dry, so I've got to recharge it. So I'm not going to do that today, but you know, that's how it all works. So what I'm going to do is just quickly feed this back through the system. Here we go. Yoink. And I thought that I'd keep the cap on it as well. So I think that there's an awful lot to like about the way it's all set up right now. If I need to recharge it and it's too awkward, I'll have to remove the cap, but hopefully I'll be able to retain it. In that goes, and I think that'll stay. So I think I'm going to have to remove it. Oh well. That doesn't matter. Okay, now this won't hurt a bit, mate.
What do you mean it won't hurt a bit?
Ah! I'm like one of Mary Antoinette's executioners from lots of things. There we go. Yoink. So, here we go. Now, which one was it in? I think it was in this one. Might bring this down a bit so that we've got more go-to room. We'll get this right in a second. I think that's probably the most appropriate. Yep. Well, can we poke it through this bit, or do I have to get it all done new? Those are the questions. We can just poke it round, just wrap it around anew, I reckon. It's easy enough to do. There we go. So now we have new setup. Does it work properly? Who knows? We'll find out in a second. I'm excited about it. I know probably everyone else doesn't care, but you know, sometimes it's fun. Just going to grab a syringe and recharge it. Sorry about the delay. Here we go. grabbeth the syringe, dunketh in the water, pull the water out, and rechargeth the system. That's interesting. I've got a solution to that as well. I did think about it. In the form of a slightly larger tube. Yay! So, let me just grab that. So, we've got the slightly larger tube. So we've got this, and we've got this. Hopefully that'll fit straight on. Will it? Yeah, it'll fit straight on. Hopefully that'll fit over the top of this. Hopefully, anyway. Well, it's a bit squishier. Let's see if that works. Probably easier just to... Now that was not as successful as I was hoping. Try again with this. Show me where we are. Come on, you can do it. Any water come down? Nearly. I actually do it from the top. Probably easier. There we go. So I'm just filling it from the top. What that'll do is it'll just give it the impetus it needs. Try again. So you go, good. One more squirt. Should get this up and running. And I'll have to create a system which recharges it just a little bit more strongly than that. Who's complaining in the background now? Come on. You know you want to. This is normally a peristaltic pump. Yeah, come on. You know you want to. Okay, I'll try pulling it. Nice to have a really tight seal here. Not that kind of seal. Don't want to ruin my open jar. Always something, isn't there? All right. We'll get there. Don't you worry. Where's that? Is there something here that I could use? That looks interesting. No, there's an injection port. That probably would be useful. Let's see if... Is this any use? Let's have a look at it. I don't think so. No. Normally it was a lot easier than this. It doesn't matter. Try again. It's like getting an old Cadillac started. Half the issue is just getting the stuff moving. That's the way, come on. You can do it. That's good, just making sure everything's open. Everything is indeed open. Everything is indeed working. Come on, you can do it. Here we go. New system for the people. Yay! Finally! Woohoo! Excellent. Excellent. And I'll be controlling it from the top here now, which is much more convenient. Why is that doing that? Good. Sorry, I'm just letting it run through. There's a few air bubbles. That will be hunky Midori. How is that going? Let's just tighten it down a little bit further. That's a bit too tight. Once we get this new system worn in, it should be okay. Oh gosh, no, we'll work with that. Right. Now I tightened it, didn't I? Well, we'll find out in a minute. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll work with this one first. How's the hunt? All right. Yep. So I was hunting for things. All right, here we go. We're using this piece of opal here, and that's a nice face, but I'm going to see what else is on this opal. This is basically just wearing in the blade. It's a new set of opal that I got from a supplier just off eBay. I'll send a video of what happened. This is rather amusing. There was a bit of a mix-up, and the postie delivered it to the wrong address. So I spent an afternoon just walking around knocking on doors, saying, "Excuse me, you don't happen to have a kilo of opal around, do you?" Lab-made opals. Who actually did that particular video? Because I actually bought some lab-made opals. I gave them to my dentist. I know that sounds weird. If you've ever held them, they're actually a lot lighter than your bog standard opal. They're a lot less dense because they're actually held in a plastic medium. So whereas, you know, a garnet or a diamond is actually synthetic, it's been grown, so there's nothing separating it from the original article. There is something separating the opal from the original article. Now, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased as punch at this. This is a beautiful piece of opal. What I'm wants to do with this particular piece, however, is to cut it down the middle, I reckon, because it's just a bit too long. And I reckon I could maybe even make a pair of earrings out of this. I think that's the logical choice. So have a look at all that colour and bring it right up. Not bad for a piece of reject. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just cut it down along here. And that will inform the types of cabs we're going to do. I'm going to do a rounder kind of cab on the end, because I can. and I'll do a more traditional oval shaped cab out of this longer bit, the thinner bit. Now I'm deliberately just going slow. This machine is now set to really, really low revs, so that's more gentle on the opal. When the blade wears in a bit. How much for a kilo? It was about 30 bucks plus postage, which is about 10 bucks. So if you live in Australia, it's 30 US, if that helps. So it was really good. What I'll do is I'll happily post the eBay link. How about that? Because I think they regularly sell bits of it. So hopefully I'm not going to do myself out of opal by handing out the link, but I don't think you'll go astray. And if you feel like buying the more expensive packages, you'll see that they're quite colourful. So yeah, some chemistry guy. Yeah, I think it's a recipe that involves baking soda from memory, by the way. When I first started this, I actually tried getting the opal material, and because I knew it was made from spheres, and the colour just ended up in the dirt in the bottom here, it was a logical enough thought that if you tried to refloat the spheres in epoxy, then that something might happen. Now, it could just be that I'm crap at it, but it didn't work. Basically. So the decision I have to make now is what side am I going to face it on? And so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at this tiny little sliver, and I'm wondering if that sliver actually straightens out on a particular axis. So let's go right in and have a look at that axis. See if we can spot it. Okay, so there it is. So I reckon if we just get that corner doesn't seem to have any opal in it, so, or precious opal anyway, so we'll just flatten it out and hopefully that'll look good. Is that too much? Too little? Not enough? Who knows? So it looks like that now. If we turn it round, does it? Yeah, I think we're good. Where's that coming from? Is that literally coming from? I think it's coming from the. Everything's coming from there. Okay, and it's splatting forward. Okay, no trouble. We can cope with that. Let's get this cutted. So, anyway. I tend to be fairly gentle with nature, and they know it. So I'm sitting here cutting my opals, and a moth just goes, you know, you make a great place to land. No, I don't. I'm live streaming. Well, this guy is the second string off cut, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. So you can see we've got colour everywhere. Look at that. Unbelievable. I think that's our bunny that side. Try and get it even better. My goodness. So that's just a slam dunk, that one. How hard was that? There was nothing. There was no effort, no struggle. Unbelievably good opal that was. I feel somewhat validated by that. Is there a leak here? No, it's literally the amount. Okay, so this is going into my little opal jar. I used to have a website I sold Opal on. I let it expire. My daughter set it up for me, and I'll talk to her about it because she was very sad when it expired. Okay, so let's get this one done. What I'm thinking of doing, actually, I'll put it onto Gumtree, but I'll get some of these guys, like for example this piece of opal here, right, and I'll get it into some decent kind of shape as a rub, and then I'll leave some of the imperfections on there, and then like make a video on how to improve it, how to fix it, or something like that, you know, so an instruction kit on how to get tough opal sorted. That'd probably be fun. So I'm just having a look at this stone here. I actually look at it over here because it's actually easier. So, right. I think we have a no-brainer as to where the face is going to be. How's that? Unbelievable. Man. Yeah, you try and focus, little camera, because you're not going to have much ability, because that thing is going to be flashing light in every single direction. That's got more flash than a 1990s drive. Couldn't use the Hyde Park joke again. Like the internet would cancel me or something. Okay, so how often do you get opal that's just a slam dunk like this? Not very often. Not with my quality. I think that the person who sold this to me does need to be highlighted. Just in case you're interested, on Opal Auctions and in Facebook Marketplace and all the other places, is a dude by the name of Riley Gunn. He's quite good as well, so please remember him. NN Opals, I think he trades under. You can see him under YouTube. But look at that, unbelievable. Oh, that was seconds. You're not. You can't just make an opal without struggle. That was just so easy. I suppose it struggled to get the equipment together. Look at that. That was just unbelievable. Oh. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow. Did I mention wow? Okay, I'm happy. So let's grab another of these. Let's see what this one has to offer us. So this one isn't as obvious. There's a little bit of material around. So what I'll do is I'll just poke around, see what the state of play is with this particular opal, get rid of the patches, and see if we can find an obvious orientation for the opal. That's that bit done. There is a chunk of sand right in the middle of this. Makes me curious, because that's very much like a belemnite. If anyone's seen a belemnite, that's what they do. Anywho, too late now. In case you're interested, a belemnite is like a fossilized squid. And it's better to keep the fossil intact than to cut the opal out of it. And it's very tough sometimes, because these belemnites, they've got some beautiful colours in them. So you're left in quite the bind on what to do. Okay, so okay, I'm going to cut this piece off at this angle. There we go. Cut that off there. Cut the back off. There we go. Bring this off here. Bring that out there. So what I might do is I'll have a look at what I've got in completed opals, and I'll have a look what I've got in the rub section as well. And if you're that interested, I'll just make a Gumtree page and I'll post a link in a short or something like that, and then you can go over and have a look at them. Be nice if it's one of those things when you get big enough to actually have your name on the opals and it makes a difference. Don't think I'm quite there yet. But you never know, these things might be investments in the future. You never know where life takes you. Used to do that with bands. Yeah, the Young Guns, I've seen some of their stuff, and if I remember correctly, the Young Guns occasionally sell in the Rocks marketplace. So, I think they do. Can't remember. The last time I was in the Rocks, I thought I saw them. Cut this bit off too. Got to be very canny when you're buying opal. It's a weird industry because realistically, look what I'm doing. This has taken quite a lot of effort to get to a point where I can just cut an opal into a cab. So when you're buying the opals, you're paying for the experience of the cutter, I suppose. And also you're paying for the luck of the draw as well, because not all the opals work out. So I suppose the expense is worth it when they're a cut stone. Mining it, there's a bit of luck of the draw there, I suppose, as well. You know what? I haven't actually thought about that because it's just a place to go to in Sydney. But you're right. And hello, Jay. How you doing? Hopefully you saw the previous couple because they are just absolutely gorgeous. I could not believe what I was seeing. This one's turning out all right. At the moment, I don't know whether to go facing it this way or this way. I just happened to notice that it started a little bit prettier. You showed up, of course, Jay. And no, I wasn't trying to segue into that or anything, believe it or not. You just good lucked me. Just seeing what I can do to get... It seems like the potch in the middle is being a bit stubborn, so we'll see. So what's that? What I might do, it's looking okay. I might have to cut it in half. I think that maybe that half is redundant. I think we only have this half to play with. So let's have a quick look. I'll carve it in from the side so that we don't have to waste too much material. How goes it? Let's have a look. Keep going. Keep going. For those of you who are trying to play catch up, every time J for Genius shows up, something good happens to me. Just some dollars, I'm not greedy. Because I'm really just cutting them for fun on the YouTube. I didn't even expect to be cutting tonight. I just happened to get my parcel. I struggled for the parcel, and I'm like thinking, stuff this, I'm going to cut them. Well, I'm going to cut a few of them. Still got a kilo bag sitting around. I've actually been able to catch quite a few opals recently because of my tax return. So there's a pretty nice amount of colour just sitting there. It's hard to spot. What I'll do is I think it needs to be faced like that. So just a quick zhoosh underneath there, like so. I think that's better. So now I just it's just going to be kind of like a drop shape. No matter how much protection I use, I end up with a piece of opal in my eye every time. Don't worry, I'm gonna live. Just getting annoyed. I'm going, why do I make all of these things? And you watch me struggle sometimes on YouTube trying to get it to work whilst I'm, working behind a flame hood or something. And it still gets in my eye. There we go. So I'm gonna keep that like that. Well, basically, I put my stuff on. Let me have a look. Basically, if he's got a clamp and he's got one of these, he's got my cutting setup. The only difference is that I've made it a little bit more user-friendly and able to be filmed with a few pieces of plastic. But unless you're trying to film it, it's probably not that big of an issue. Big of an issue. I've become an American. Big an issue. This one is the teeny tiny opal that I was scared to cut, but Jay's come along and I'm like, that's it, I'm doing it. Yeah, and very delicate too, so it's a bit of a stressful opal to cut. In all seriousness, there is a good chance that this one will just shatter. It's not that well put together, so to speak. So don't worry, Jay, I won't blame you if it all goes wrong. I'm just supremely confident in whatever you're doing out there. Just a case of smoke him if you got him, pray to it if you believe in it. Here it goes. Okay. Look at that. It's just coming out so good. There's a slight issue with that piece there, so I'm going to try and leave it. Gonna have to do something about it. I don't like that. You're going to have to. Is that good enough? Is that good enough? I declare it good enough. Possibly not, but we'll worry about that later. I might dop it up and then go for a real detailed cut. It's starting to get really tiny. Oh, it's scrubbing up nice. I mean, we've got to face facts. It's not the biggest opal in the world, but look at it. Not bad. Got a little dot on the top there. We might not be able to help that. So we can get one last shot at getting that inclusion gone. But any thinner, it's going to become transparent. Might have to double it up. But yeah, that's okay. Look at that. There we go. Nice and clean. We've been able to cut the stone clean. Nice little gem. Beautiful. Okay, that one's going into the dot jar for sure. Thank you, J for Genius. Tink. Alright, so now, because you helped me through that one, Jay, we're going to do the real tough one. Oh gosh, what am I getting myself into? Alright, what have we got here? I'm going to zoom right in because I need to see it properly too. Alright. What does it look like? Got to hold my hand steady so that I and you and everyone can see it. So it's got a massive chunk of sand in there. That's going to have to be straightened out. This piece here, if we're lucky, will end up being good, but that chunk of sand in there might ruin our day. There might be two stones, just one on this side and one on that side, depending on what happens. Let's go over to this side. We'll have to cut through here, cut through that yucky bit. As a matter of fact, we'll cut through the entire yucky bit and see what we're left with. I think that's our first order of business, cutting through the yuck. So here we go. What's gonna happen? Possibly powder. So far so good, hasn't completely shattered. This is my kind of fun. It is a bit tense though. There's the problem in stark colour now. I'm going to have. I said I have to cut along that, didn't I? It just doesn't look cuttable, but it has to be, or else cut it I will not. Cut it you will not. Yes, yes, yes. Feel the force between the stone and the cutter. Here we go. Oh, I don't believe it. That is where you fail. All right, here we go. So we've got a tiny little stone. We'll try and get that one out first. This is definitely going to be dopping material once I've gotten to a certain stage though. It's just so small. Believe it or not, I've cut it into two sections there as well. Okay, whether I mean to or not, this is becoming a masterclass on how to get, really detailed cutting happening. I'm not necessarily going to say I'm that good because I would not attempt this, as a demo. It's just I'm having fun. Let's try it going on this side. There we go. I can't believe it. I actually got a stone out of it. Thank you, Jay. Look at that. There we go. I'll have to dot that. I'll have to maybe get the back of it and make it a little bit better and just make it doppable because I really am pushing my luck with this one. Yeah, I've got to get that bit off, I'm afraid. It's even sitting on a nice bit of black. I mean, look at that. It's unbelievable. I'll Google that for you. See what we can find. Or maybe Gilly can. Alright, so that's going in the jar. That is just unbelievable. That was just a piece of offcut, really. Oh, that's a black opal from Lightning Ridge. Straight in there. It'd be only like, 30 to 50 bucks, but considering the amount of effort it took to cut it, that's really satisfying. Okay, so let's go zoom in again, see what we've got left. So we've got, I mean, look at that. There's really usable opal here. My question is, does that sand actually stop, or will I have to cut it in half again? It looks a little bit... What I might do is I might cut it from the bottom here and see if it clears up from the bottom. That's probably the best way to do it. Oh, it's beautiful. You should see it. You should see it straight up. It's just so amazing. Alright, so I'll cut it from here and see what it does. Is it clearing itself up? Maybe. Try and get you out of there. That was an insane cut. Seemed to work. Got it out, but like, is it usable like that? I think I'm gonna have to cut along there. Yeah, I'm cutting along here. Just along here. Oh, check that out. Check out that colour. That's just unbelievable. So small, but so beautiful. Yeah, and if you're careful, this sand is just dealing with itself. I mean, you honestly wouldn't think this was a cuttable stone. Okay, so now all I need to do is just carefully cut along here. Try and get to the colour. What do we get? Is it only going to face along that side, is it? That'd be right. Or is it under here? I think we're going to have to go for this side. That is our facing side. Okay, we can do that. It's interesting, I'll give it that. Can I actually get something out of it? Because what I'm having to do is I'm having to involve the side a bit, and it's quite a technical cut, because the side is where it's really shiny, and so I'm having to cut it so that the side angles in a bit. So quite difficult to do, but rewarding if you get it right. Whoa! Hello, my friend. Hello, my old friend. Okay, here we go. This will have to be completed on the dop stick. I'm just having a look on the other side as well to see where it's all going to go. Just one quick buzz on this side, just to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. No, I think this side is the best side. Alright, so that didn't turn out as well, but I will dop it and see what happens. Still got beautiful colour, just not as much. So into the jar that goes as well, as a semi alright kind of, hopefully won't completely bugger up sort of stone. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got left. This one, which is pretty much already done, just by cutting, just expedient of cutting it off. Look at that. Job done. Let me have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off a few bits of the sand. Hopefully that sand will go away. It looks like the sand's going to go away. I'm also going to spend a little bit of time correcting the shape, but it's pretty good, considering it's just an offcut basically. Yeah, this is coming up nice. I do not want to jinx this stone. What a beautiful stone. What a beautiful stone. Right, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to dop that and shape it properly with the dopping, but that's just... Oh, that was just too easy. Look at that. There we go. Once again, I had to cut through some of the colour. Don't worry, that will actually come good. I might have to cut that white bit off the side, but I'll do that on the dop stick. So that's going into the jar. So I've got 3 stones out of that. That's unbelievable. I'm not going to cut that one. That'll be silly. Let me have a look what we've got here. Just see in that we've got a huge amount of luck happening here. I'm just going to zoom in on this one because this is another small stone. May as well whilst we're in the zone of small stones. So I need to get rid of that bit. Just need to shape it. Alright, we can do that. Sand gone. That also answers the question, which way will it face? Because I just cut a flat surface onto it. Good. Just going to carve out the groove here. Carve out the groove. Da-na-da-da-da-da-da. Out the groove. Da-na-da-da-da-da. Come on everybody, come on everybody. Can't believe I decided to go percussion with the opal, because it's not like it's a valuable stone or anything, is it? Okay, so I played Jive Bunny with an opal and I still didn't ruin it. So I don't know what's going on tonight. I've got the reverse of what they call the shanks though, obviously. Yep. So that stone is a good one too. Look at that. No, I haven't. That's that wood opal, isn't it? It looks absolutely fascinating though. This stuff, Cooper Petey. So let's have a look at this one. This one has obviously been rubbed. They started rubbing it here, and for whatever reason they gave up. I don't think it was shiny enough for them, but I think they just didn't understand where the colour band was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a punt here. I'm going to cut that off, straight off, and see if we get straight to the colour. Have I got a wildlife on me? Yep. Get away from me, Mr. Wildlife. Alright. In this episode, Dr. Phil gets bitten by something Australian. Swells up like a balloon and goes to hospital. Another day in Australia. All the while singing stupid 1930s tunes. Everybody's doing the Michigan rag. I learned that one from Bugs Bunny. That was the frog that would always sing when no one was looking. Actually, considering what all the Bugs Bunny cartoons end up being, it's probably racist or something. The fire opal. I'm not going to contradict you because I don't know enough about the topic, but I have seen some beautiful wood opal from Indonesia. I'll just leave it at that. I've seen some Mexican fire opal. Is it hydrophane? I know the sticks have to be kept in oil, from memory. Okay, just in case you're interested, just looking through here, this is what I expect to see behind the colour a lot of the time. So let's go find where the colour actually is. There's the colour. And over here, right about where it is. Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they? Oh, you mean the ones in the Indonesian opal? This play of colour is pretty good too. I'm not saying anything about what you're talking about. I'm just very happy with what I'm seeing. I think all opal has its place, as long as you know what its provenance is. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll have a shot at just cutting this piece off. So I was hoping there was a colour bar. If there is a colour bar, we can just polish up 2 bits of opal within the one. Not bad. Not a bad piece of accuracy there. Rolling all around the stone ain't that easy. Okay, and yeah, we get to do it twice. Look at that. Have a look there. Yep, ribbity yibbity. So, we've got... That was cool. That means I've got 2 opals to cut. Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to pretend I meant it all along. I meant to do that. I totally meant to do that. That was my plan. So I don't know what kind of luck J for Genius is pulling out of the bag at the moment, but she's brought her A game, I can tell you that much. Not content with a single opal, she's going, you can get 2 out of this one just by slicing behind the colour. It's like a freaking magic trick. Excellent. There we go. Okay, so I'll just carve you into there. Carve you into there. And once again, I'll just use the dopping process to flatten it out rather than my own eye, because your eye can deceive. There we go. I'm just angling it back a bit because I'm pretty certain that that would help the stone with its facing. Let me have a look. Yep, I'm correct. So cool. It's not that amazing a stone, but it certainly has its advantages, doesn't it? That's a brilliant one. I'm just going to leave that one there because that's nice. Now, where's that other piece? I think it's this one. This one will be a bit fainter. I think we're running out of the colour, but still, to get it at all, there it is. So what we'll do is I'll just quickly zhoosh this bit away, because maybe if we face it differently. Yeah, okay, I think yeah, yes, thank you for explaining, Gilly. So what's going on here is that I basically, at the moment, I'm going for a cab shape, so this kind of thing is what we usually go for if the camera behaves itself. There you go, that kind of shape. But sometimes the opal just decides for you. That's what Gilly's trying to say. Sometimes you don't really have that much of a say. So let me go. What I would say is that you always aim with, one of the standard shapes in mind, but if the opal is telling you otherwise, just go with it. It's pretty good to be able to cut the opal, explain a little bit of what I'm doing. Someone asks a question, then someone is able to give me a half decent answer, which is, it takes a lot of the stress out. What I will do though is I will endorse the answer and say it is, in case it means anything, it is as if I am answering sometimes. As you can see, what I'm doing is I'm aiming for the corners now, as my hands know what to do basically. They sit there and they just kind of go into this autopilot. They're going, well, if you want to have a cab, you need to cut this bit off here and you need to grind this bit down. And so 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to have a freeform opal, I'm going to have a cab. But that's by no means a guarantee. Sometimes the opal just does what it wants. So once again, that's going onto the dop stick. It's a much fainter opal, but still I got 2 for the price of 1, so I can't complain. Tink, in you go. Right, what else have we got left? Be too much. What I'm going to do quickly is this is the offcut. I'm just going to smooth it down and see what's behind the rough shape. See if there's anything else. It'd be amusing if this one becomes a 3, but it won't. Well, it probably won't anyway. That's being a bit too cheeky with fate, I would say. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing a trick called faceting. Because the opal usually only really has the brightest colour on one of the sides, that means that if you cut it the wrong way, you might not even see the colour at all. So the way to get around that is you cut several different sides, make it as eclectic as possible, and if one of those sides shines up, you know what you got. So that's called faceting, obviously. That's the same kind of thing you get on a diamond, those kind of faceted shapes. So let's have a look at what we got. I don't think we got anything. Quite frankly, guys, that would have been way too much to ask anyway. That'd be an exercise in me not being content with what I have. So let's have a look at this guy. So we've got a little bit of colour just in there, you can see that. If you can imagine this is a piece of cauliflower, you can see it just branching up along the branches of the cauliflower, I reckon. Let's have a look at this side. Is it going along the cauliflower, or is it doing something different? It's doing something different. So this area here is where the colour is on the other side. So this looks like one that's going to get cut. Just checking to see how. Alright, what I'll do is I'll just quickly get rid of all of the flaws in the opal. Ooh. Okay. To keep you oriented, that ridge is where the most of the colour was before, and it will be there again, more than likely. I mean, let's face facts, if it does end up washing out, well, I've gotten a few good ones, so why should I complain? What I am going to do, however, is I'm just going to give that a bit of a haircut. And then I'm going to cut it along here. Pretty certain that's the right course of action. Wish me luck. Here we go. I just love, as you start to cut it, you see the colour you're cutting through. Fills you with confidence. Probably won't hurt us in the long run. We'll see that in a second. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got here on the side. Yes, okay. Just got to find this other piece. And I think this is going to be complicated. Hopefully we'll be able to get it. So this is a bit we cut off, and as you can see, there is definitely a colour bar that is facing all sorts of different ways to what we were expecting. So that was worth doing. So I'm going to just flatten this out. Right. So let's see if the colour bar remains. It does, and you can see that it's going right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very gently just angle the cut along there to see what happens. This is a good example of the opals picking their own shape. Right there we go. Maybe a bit stubborn, this opal. May have to go around. Let's see. find where it's facing. So this time around we know the colour's there, we just need to know how it faces best. What have we found? I think we found something. Okay, let's go to here. Where is it? 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 Down this way. There it is. Rightio, so this way. Here's hoping. I think we're getting it. And look what we got. Excellent. We got the colour right in the middle. Oh. Now that was a stressful cut. I knew it was there. It's just getting that one out was a real toughie. And yeah, I'm going to have to keep this shape because that is the shape it wants. So I'm going to smooth the shape out a bit, but I'm not going to do much with it. This is definitely a freeform. And this is the offcut. I can breathe again. Just carving back now because I know what I'm doing, and that's going onto the dopstick, and there we have it. We've got ourselves another winner. Unbelievable. Tink, in we go. So we'll just do this one last one, and what's that? No, that's to go on a dopstick. Right. We'll do this one last one. We'll have a look and see if they've got any facing. We're going to have to hunt hard and wisely for this one. I think I just spotted it. Let's go. Now I'm going to cut this other end off because it's just a little bit too thin, so it'll be nice to be able to make another stone out of it. And that'll be the subject of another video, I suppose. And this time around, because of this cut, I'm determining the shape a bit more. But it also looks as though this opal's not protesting too much either. So, it sounds very anthropomorphic, doesn't it? But it is very... I'm not going to call it mystical. It's just... the opals certainly appear as if they have personalities. Alright, so basically what we've had today is a masterclass on how to pick your friends. So I'm not entirely certain I can claim any particular amount of genius in the opal cutting process. I mean, I was there to cut the bits off, I agree, but like the opals just went right. Sometimes that happens. So sometimes a move you make is inspired, sometimes it's just rubbish. This time around, inspiration everywhere. That's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm just it may well be this one won't be the strongest of colours, but that's okay. I actually like the subtle colours. I think they're good. When I've got my silversmithing up to scratch, I'm going to make a whole heap of opals in which you can barely see the colour and put them on personal rings of mine, because that is my kind of stone. That and sunflash. Not just any sunflash. A sunflash which you've got to get right up to the exact angle of the sun to get the flash. It'll be a great flash when you get it, but you have to work hard for it, because that's kind of the person I am, really, isn't it? Got to work hard for everything. Interesting observation. Now this guy is a 3 or 4 carat stone, so even though the colour is very, very faint, it will get better when I polish it up, and it might get better as we go deeper too. Oh boy. Tink. There we go. Now let's see if this thing calms itself down properly. Have we got any... Oh, look at that. It stops now. Okay, so all of my objectives have been accomplished. We'll go say goodbye to the bees. They have been very patient with me, so I'm going to let them out for a little while. You probably won't see them go back in, but thank you, Jay. Now, I'll give you a bit of an update on Loki. I think she's just molting, and she has very terrible feathers to start with, but her legs have been getting bald recently, and I don't want her to pluck. You know, if a bird with a feather condition like this, you know, has any kind of bad habits, then it's going to be quite catastrophic for her plumage. So what I've done as a result is, even though it's fun to have the padlock there, I've removed the padlock, and the reason for that is it's just so easy to flick that open, and then I can just get her out. And so I want to have no barriers to her getting out. I don't want to have a mental block on getting her out at all, or any of the people who look after her. So that means that if we improve the amount of care we give her by, 1-2%, that might be the 1-2% she needs. So hopefully it's not a problem anyway, and I'm just being overly sensitive. But if I am working on that 1 or 2% and it does make a difference, then it's worth it. So do you want to show them all your chicken drumsticks? Because we'll see it. See, there's just a little bit of you can see that. I mean, the feathers are growing back, but it looks a little bit naked to me, and I'm not very happy with that. Ain't that right, Loki? Yeah? Do you want to come out? I think she's just molting. But still, Max has been dropping some absolutely amazing feathers. Yeah. You can stay out. I'll just leave the door open and you can come out whenever you're feeling jealous enough. It's about that time when we have to redo the cages. Now here is the epic piece of engineering that I had to do around Max's cage, because he was being yeah, I know. You want to scratch? You do want to scratch. You need to come here. Basically what I do is I'll show you one of the distractions. Here. If the peanut butter jar is empty, I just leave it in there and they can have their fun emptying it out. Also, I drill holes in the perches themselves and put treats in them And obviously they have these giant logs that they can hollow out for themselves. And Loki, she's got this as well as everything else. And they've also got this rope. You'll see that they're actually pulling the rope through. They're having a lot of fun. I think it's just sometimes, I don't know, Loki can get stressed. And so I've just got to work on her stress levels. You've got to learn to meditate and relax and stuff, hey? Yeah? Achoo. Bless you. All right. Maxie Bubba? Scratchy poo? He was not liking that. He was thinking about biting me. You saw that. Now, Max has definitely been molting. Taking some great feathers off of him. Oh, yeah, the other thing is that every morning, this is the crop from this morning. So there was some fresh wattle out, and just when I got back, I just chucked it in. And every day, not every day, but most days, I will get some fresh foliage from outside and give it to them. One of my favourites, not necessarily theirs, is the casuarina, because the casuarina fruit are really, really hard and woody, and they love getting into it. And also the lily pillies, because the lily pillies tend to be infected with lots of bugs and stuff, and so they get to eat the lily pilly fruit, and then like it's crunchy on the outside with a chewy centre as far as they're concerned. They like getting into the bugs. They really enjoy that. And so, I wouldn't. But as Costa said, no one's died from eating holes. Oh, yeah. Basically, they eat as much fruit as my children do, which may or may not be a good thing. But they'll share their fruit with my kids. And so they're enjoying it. Yeah, I think that the diet's okay. What I'm doing is I'm just eliminating all barriers to interaction, because I think that was the thing. Because when you would put the lock on, Loki would come up and try and take the lock off your hand, and it became a bit of a fight. Now, if you are used to fighting every time you're getting Loki out of the cage, that's a discouragement to get her out of the cage, and so I don't want that. I think if we just get rid of the barriers, I reckon she'll be all right. I'm hoping so anyway. Don't you think? But like I said, I'd promised to actually do the care warts and all, and sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes like nature just happens. So you're going to see that. You're not going to see a perfect bird every time. You're going to see whatever's happening with the birds. Yeah, it's all right, Max. Finally, Max is starting to chill. Yeah, at the moment I'm seeing some orange debris and some banana debris in the bottom of Max's cage. Hello, he just jumped over. Hello, yeah, gorgeous little fella. Sorry, I'm not good at this, am I? So good with opals, terrible with birds, apparently. Let me have a look. Is it back there? Yeah. Look, if I scratch your cheek, you're going to bite me. You can't resist the urge. Yeah. My next challenge is to get him to step up, and that's going to be quite a painful one. Yep, and now the other people around the house are starting to pat Max as well. So Max is allowing other people to touch him. It's a big thing. What is it? It's Wednesday now. So usually it's Friday or Saturday that the cages get a bit of a clean, but they're getting a bit filthy now, so I'm going to have to skip that schedule forward a bit. My lips are still a little bit numb from the dentist's all those months ago. They will get better, but make some words. Whoa! He didn't actually bite me. He was just warning me that I was getting a bit too chummy with one of his feathers. Okay, so he tried to bite me, but my hand was in a position where I was actually holding his head, and so he just went up into my hand and just didn't do anything. Okay. I shouldn't laugh at him because he's always liking being the big man around the house. He's like, I'm big and intimidating. You're going to respect me. I do respect you, Max. I do. The reason why I got you in the first place was because I respect you. But you're allowed to be funny. Come on, get on there. That's not exactly what I had in mind. You going to come out at some stage, Loki? You don't have to. I want you to go for a flight at some stage, Max. Okay? Will you go for a flight? Will you go for a flight? I'll get the big stick out in a minute, okay? Then that sounds really bad, doesn't it? But the big stick is what he wants. Hey, Payne. You've done a good job of making everything a little bit terrible too, haven't you? There you go. She's become a bit of a football too. She likes getting a bit of a scratch. No, here we go. That's a good noise. Sound of the wild. You happy, are you? Yeah. Now, my ears are hurting, in case you're interested. Very, very loud. I don't know how that's coming through, but I don't mind. Loki, he's a fine specimen. Not interested. Fine specimen. I don't care. Boring. Max, listen. We personally think she's punching above her weight there, but like, you're just going to have to work harder, I suppose. Yeah, I think she's not as bored as normal. You poor sausage. Oh, yeah. I'm going to leave these open. I'm not going to put them back. Let them have a bit of a play around. But I'm going to go and find something to eat now. Whew. It's been an interesting day for me. Been very fun. In case you're interested, the OPAL got delivered to the wrong address, and so I spent yesterday afternoon after work running around the neighbourhood, getting to know the people. That was fun. All right. Everybody, it's a goodbye from me and it's a goodbye from these birds. Have a lovely evening. Dr. Phil out.